Hostel Manly. Hostel Manly was built in the early part of the 20th century by Cottesloe councillor George Henry West, who purchased the land on the 22nd of March 1907. The hostel was originally called Manly de Sands Guest House and occupied the corner of Swanbourne Terrace, now named Marine Parade, and John Street. Originally the building showed exposed brick and had a corrugated sloping iron roof. The building contained 40 bedrooms and 3 bathrooms. The building was encompassed by a fine veranda which was frequently used by residents to accommodate beds, which benefited from the sea breezes and spectacular sea views. Guests enjoyed hot and cold baths, electric lighting, sitting and smoking rooms, and a telephone to enable business to be conducted between Cottesloe and Fremantle from the comfort of the guest house. Opening tariffs were advertised at 40 shillings per week and 8 shillings per day, which included all meals and full room service. After the death of George West in 1921, title to the property was purchased by Cottesloe councillor William Harold Melvin. The guest house was renamed Hostel Manly, and the old garage in John Street, which stood alongside the original building, was demolished and replaced by a tea shop, a betting shop and a butcher's shop. There was a passageway between the shops which enabled guests to access the hotel, and in 1923 the main building was extended on the southern side, clearly seen here in this image by the drop in the balcony line. During the operation of the Lido Picture Gardens, guests occupying the southern balcony were provided with 3 views of the latest movies. Olive Glatz remembers her children watching the movies from the balcony of the Manly Hostel.
Yes, all the veranda was enclosed and the children used to sleep on the veranda, and they will get out of their beds and look at the pictures next door. Through the fence, you see, you could see through the fence. And of course, when they got tired, they got back to bed.
Ultimately, the picture gardens erected Hessian screens to prevent freeloaders, but on occasions the ropes holding the screens would be cut to enable guests at the hotel to gain a glimpse of a particularly good movie. Opposite the hotel was the Centenary Bathing Pavilion, with cafes and an open-air dance hall on the roof called Palais de Danse. A multicoloured canvas awning spread between the 2 roofs during the day, and at night they were replaced with rows and rows of coloured lights. Guests would be able to hear the music and watch couples dancing under the stars. June Markham recalls nights spent at the Palais de Danse.
Now, at that time, the old Kit Kat and Indiana tea rooms had just been pulled down, and the new bathing sheds, kiosks were being built. And this was a wonderful thing for the beach at Cottesloe because it attracted a lot of people down there. And joy of all joys, they had this open-air dance floor on the top of the building, and it was just the most romantic place. The waves were breaking, you could hear that. There was the music playing, and there were bands in those days. And I know if my husband and I, we were only boy and girlfriend at that stage, we used to go down there and we used to love it.
A corner shop occupied the front of the hotel at the intersection of John Street and Marine Parade. The shop had multiple purposes over the years. Once a lolly and ice cream shop, a news agency, and even a post office and library. It was operated by Mr. Melvin's daughter Nancy Charles. Ice creams were served in penny or threepenny cones and milkshakes were just 4p. During the war years, the hotel was used for respite for servicewomen. The Melville family retained a flat on the first floor of the building. About 120 English children evacuees were sent to the Hostel Manly during and after the war. The Melville children helped in the kitchen. They peeled vegetables and waited on tables because they couldn't get staff due to the war effort. By 1950, the hotel was starting to age. In 1967, an attempt was made to repair the building, but sadly in 1971, the Grand Hotel was demolished and replaced by Sea Pines Restaurant and a complex of short-stay apartments. This story was narrated by Cindy Dowden, the Community History Librarian for the Grove Library.